You taste delicious, by the way.
Apologies. I've grown detached from physical needs. And time, well, it slips in here. Besides, I wanted more than just you. I'm going to need you all.
To do what?
Prevent a war.
After recruiting 𝐒𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐸 as directed, Brother Constant and Polly approach Terminus and prepare for landing. On the ride down, Constant and 𝐒𝐤𝐢𝐸𝐸 get to know each other and chat about their personal lives. 𝐒𝐤𝐤𝐸𝐸 shows Constant one of his prized possessions, a 2,000-year-old bottle of wine, which he says he has been saving for the perfect occasion. Growing closer, 𝐒𝐤𝐸𝐸 asks Constant for her real name, instead of her church-given one, but she tells him that her culture forbids it. Landing on Terminus, the trio meet up with Director 𝐸𝐹 and make their way toward the vault. On Trantor, 𝐸𝐸th and Brother Dawn enjoy a pleasant walk in the gardens, accompanied by 𝐸𝐸th's bodyguard, Han. As they walk toward a secluded grove, 𝐸𝐸th tells Dawn that 𝐸𝐸 and Brother Dusk had a relationship decades prior, when 𝐸𝐸 worked as a concubine in the Gossamer court. Arriving at the grove, 𝐸𝐸th confides in Dawn and tells him that she believes that Brother Day was responsible for the Zeppelin accident that killed her family. With only circumstantial evidence as proof, Dawn defends Day, but he still comforts 𝐸𝐸th and tries to understand her perspective. As the pair part ways, 𝐸𝐸th suggests that Dawn might be better suited for a husband than Day, as they're still the same man. Meanwhile, Brother Dusk and 𝐸𝐸 meet in the mural room and reminisce on their past as they stroll through the palace. Turning to the subject of Day and 𝐸𝐸th's marriage, 𝐸𝐸 claims that she has final approval of the union. Although Dusk still isn't sold on the wedding, he remains attracted to 𝐸𝐸 and invites her back to his private quarters. Arriving in orbit over Siwenna, Bel Riose and Glawen Kerr prepare to meet up with the Imperial informant and drop down to the planet as a two-man infiltration team. Reaching the surface, they attempt to retrieve their extraction equipment, but find that it has been stolen by local scavengers. When Glawen tries to persuade them to return it, the confrontation gets out of hand, and Bel chooses violence instead of reasoning. Killing most of the scavengers, except the one who flees for reinforcements, Bel and Glawen recover their equipment and head toward the informant. However, Glawen chastises Bel for resorting to violence and not following his lead, viewing it as a betrayal of their relationship. Back on Terminus, everyone arrives at the vault, but upon seeing the warden's remains, 𝐒𝐸𝐸𝐸 refuses to enter. Ultimately, his choice doesn't matter, as he is picked up off the ground and sucked into the vault by an unseen force. When Constant and Polly follow him inside, they find themselves in a massive, maze-like space, and eventually locate 𝐒𝐸𝐸𝐸, who tells them that he's been waiting for 2 days. Director 𝐸𝐹 joins them a few moments later, and together they explore the structure, and led by music, discover an office where Hari Seldon awaits. Greeting them one by one, he explains that they are inside a 4-dimensional location called a polycharon, where time moves strangely and that he needs their help to prevent a war. On Siwenna, Bel and Glawen meet with their informant, 𝐤𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐸𝐸, at his home. After he offers them a book from his collection and some needle tea, 𝐤𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐸𝐸 shares information regarding the Church of the Galactic Spirit and the Foundation. He tells them that in addition to developing protective auras and evolutionary artificial intelligence, the Foundation has also created special jump ships called whisper ships, which can fold space-time without the help of spacers. 𝐤𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐸𝐸 also claims that the ships have a mind of their own, but Bel doubts their existence in general. When local reinforcements arrive from the skirmish with the scavengers, 𝐤𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐸𝐸 asks to be killed in mercy, as he believes that he will be tortured by the mob. Fulfilling his wish with a single beam to the head, Bel and Glawen flee back to their ship, using the high-tech extraction devices. In the vault on Terminus, Hari tells the group his plan, but first, he shows them the Prime Radiant, and explains that it is a quantum computer that is in superposition, so it can exist in multiple places at one time. Moving on to his plan, he explains that in order to stall the oncoming war with the Empire, they must travel to Trantor and spread his prophecy through peace talks. When Polly asks why Warden Yeager was incinerated when he tried to enter the vault, Hari explains that he sensed that the warden was becoming corrupt and had to show occasional wrath to be an effective deity. As the rest of the group leaves, Hari privately tells 𝐒𝐻𝐢r that he has a separate mission for him. Instead of trying to bring peace to the Empire, he will sow turmoil instead. Back on Trantor, Sareth, Rue, and Han meet with an Imperial guard in the gardens and try to recruit him as a spy. Although the guard is concerned over the Empire's surveillance and weekly memory wipes, they convince him to investigate Day's possible connection to the Zeppelin crash. Sareth also tells the guard to retrieve video evidence of the assassination attempt on Day, so she can learn how he survived the attack. On Terminus, nerves run high as everyone prepares to leave for their missions. Constant and Polly get ready for passage to Trantor via regulated jump ship, while 𝐒𝐻𝐢r returns and asks to borrow their ship, the Spirit Rising, as Hari has already input coordinates for his secret task. As the group part ways, Constant admits to 𝐒𝐻𝐢r that she has grown attracted to him in their brief time, and regrets not acting on her feelings. Although they share a touching goodbye as 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐢r leaves the planet, Constant tries not to give in to false hope, leaving their future uncertain.